What if I told you that one of the most sanctioned countries in the world, cut off from global arms markets, battered by trade embargoes, and surrounded by powerful enemies, might actually be one of the most powerful military forces in the Middle East in 2025? This is Iran in 2025. Despite relentless pressure from the West to isolate and contain it, its military influence is growing fast. So, how powerful is Iran in 2025? And should the world be worried? Let's find out. To understand Iran's military rise, we have to go back to 1979. That year, a revolution swept across the country. The Western-backed Shah was overthrown, and Iran transformed into an Islamic republic under Ayatollah Khomeini. What followed was a total transformation of the country's identity, both politically and militarily. The revolution kicked off a 4-decade-long feud with the United States and its allies. But more importantly, it sparked a national doctrine built on 3 core principles: self-reliance, resistance, and regional influence. Then came the Iran-Iraq War from 1980 to 1988, one of the bloodiest conflicts in modern Middle Eastern history. This war wasn't just about territorial disputes. It forged Iran's current defense doctrine: asymmetric warfare, proxy militias, and homegrown weapon production. Fast forward to 2020. An American drone strike in Baghdad kills General Qasem Soleimani, one of Iran's most powerful military strategists, the leader of the elite Quds force and the architect of its foreign operations. Iran retaliates by firing ballistic missiles at U.S. bases in Iraq. There were no casualties, but the message was loud and clear: Iran doesn't back down. In 2025, that doctrine has matured. Iran now fields more drones, better missiles, and a military strategy that extends its reach far beyond its borders. So what does that strength look like? Let's break it down. Iran doesn't fight like a traditional military power. No stealth bombers, no aircraft carriers. Instead, it fights like a strategist, like a chess master playing a long game. Instead of overwhelming firepower, it leverages proxies, asymmetric warfare, cyber capabilities, and ideology. This mindset birthed one of the most powerful military institutions in the region. The IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, a powerful military, political, and economic entity tasked with protecting the revolution. Today, in 2025, the IRGC is more than just an elite force. It's a parallel army, equipped with its ground units, Navy air assets, and the infamous Quds Force, the branch responsible for operations beyond Iran's borders. Iran's strength isn't just about bullets and bombs. It lies in this adaptability. It's about strategy, influence, and innovation. Let's talk numbers. Iran's official defense budget in 2025 is around $24 billion. Tiny compared to the $816 billion U.S. defense budget or Saudi Arabia's $75 billion. But don't let that fool you. Iran invests in cheaper, more effective tools of modern warfare. Think drones, cyber weapons, and missiles, not tanks or expensive fighter jets. According to the 2025 Global Firepower Index, Iran ranks 14th out of 145 countries, just behind Germany and ahead of Israel, Canada, and Australia. Let's break down Iran's current military might. Manpower: 575,000 active troops, 350,000 in reserve. Air Force: minimal jet presence, but over 3,000 combat and reconnaissance drones. Missiles: thousands of ballistic and cruise missiles, including the Shahab 3 and Sejal, with ranges up to 2,000 kilometers. Navy: 400-plus vessels, 34 submarines, and dozens of fast attack boats capable of swarming larger ships. And then there's the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway through which 20% of the world's oil flows. Iran controls this choke point. Iran's navy may not match the size of the U.S. Fifth Fleet, but its fast attack vessels and anti-ship missiles create real headaches for any adversary trying to control the waters. You can't talk about Iranian power without diving deeper into the IRGC. They are not just soldiers, they're an empire within an empire. With its ground, naval, and air units, the IRGC reports directly to Iran's supreme leader, not the president. And it's backed by the Quds Force, a secretive unit handling foreign missions. They manage everything from foreign military operations to infrastructure development to black market trade. This force isn't just an elite military wing. It's the beating heart of Iran's foreign policy. Their secret weapon? Proxies. In 2025, the IRGC supports a powerful lineup of proxies. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hashd al-Shaabi in Iraq, the Houthis in Yemen. These groups are more than allies. They're extensions of Iranian strategy. This gives Iran something no Gulf state has: strategic depth across the region, forming a web of influence that's hard to isolate or dismantle. When you attack Iran, you're not just attacking a country. You're poking a web of proxy forces that can retaliate in multiple directions. So when people say Iran versus USA, it's not just Tehran versus Washington. It's a complex web of alliances, militias, and influence stretching across thousands of miles. Here's where things get more interesting. Due to years of sanctions, Iran can't buy F-35s or German tanks. So it builds its own. And in 2025, that effort has paid off. Take drones. Iran is now a top drone power globally. The Shahed 129, Mohajer 6, and Arash, two have been used across multiple conflicts. Some have even shown up in Ukraine, used by Russia after reportedly receiving them from Iran. These drones are cheap, deadly, and hard to stop. That makes them perfect for asymmetric warfare and highly attractive to buyers. Iran's missile program is just as threatening. Iran now has over 3,000 ballistic and cruise missiles, more than any other country in the Middle East. Precision strike capabilities have improved so much that even US and Israeli defense systems can't always intercept them. That changes the calculus for anyone considering a strike against Iran. Now to the question everyone's asking. Does Iran have a nuclear weapon in 2025? Short answer, no. Long answer, not yet, but very close. The answer is complicated. Back in 2015, Iran signed the JCPOA, the nuclear deal, limiting its enrichment. But in 2018, the US withdrew. Since then, Iran has ramped up uranium production. By 2025, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran can enrich uranium to weapons-grade levels in under 10 days. But weaponizing it, turning uranium into a functioning bomb, would take more time, but the threshold is dangerously close. This ambiguous position is called strategic opacity, and it works as a deterrent. Enemies don't know for sure if Iran will cross the line, and it changes how world powers engage with Tehran. So where does Iran actually stand? As of 2025, 14th globally in military strength, second in the Middle East, just behind Turkey. In a straight-up conventional war against the US, Iran wouldn't stand a chance. But Iran isn't playing that game. It wins by grinding down US influence through cyber attacks, oil disruptions, and proxy wars. It aims to make such a war too costly. Against Saudi Arabia, despite Riyadh's wealth and Western weapons, Iran has an edge in military experience, ideological warfare, and regional networks. But the real powder keg? Iran versus Israel. This is the Middle East's most volatile rivalry. Israel boasts advanced tech, air superiority, and nuclear ambiguity of its own. But Iran counters with missiles, proxies, and a deep-rooted ideological struggle. In 2025, it's less about confrontation and more about influence, deterrence, and brinkmanship. Iran's influence isn't just military, it's geopolitical. Through its axis of resistance strategy, Iran has carved out a sphere of influence that stretches across Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen. It funds infrastructure, builds hospitals, and supplies weapons in war-torn regions, not just to win hearts, but to expand control. And as Western sanctions tighten, Iran turns to Russia and China. Weapons deals, oil exports, diplomatic cover. This triangle, Tehran, Moscow, and Beijing, has become a critical force in reshaping global alliances. Iran also plays a major role in maritime choke points like the Red Sea, the Gulf of Oman, and the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil flows through these choke points. That's not just military leverage, it's economic blackmail. Not all wars are fought with bombs or missiles. Some are fought with code. Iran has poured resources into cyber capabilities, disrupting banking systems, hacking infrastructure, and launching cyberattacks on foreign governments. Iran's cyber program in 2025 is one of the most advanced in the world. They've been blamed for cyberattacks on U.S. financial systems, Israeli water infrastructure, and oil companies in the Gulf. Experts now rank Iran in the top 5 cyber warfare nations globally. Cyber warfare is Iran's equalizer. It allows Tehran to punch above its weight without firing a shot. Iran's military power in 2025 isn't about raw size. It's about smart tactics, layered networks, and playing by rules no one else dares to follow. From oil prices to proxy wars, drone warfare to cyberattacks, Tehran is shaping the 21st century battlefield in ways that bypass traditional Western dominance. Iran isn't the most powerful, but it's one of the most unpredictable. And in geopolitics, unpredictability is power. So, how powerful is Iran in 2025? Not the most powerful, but powerful enough to matter. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into military and geopolitical power, and drop a comment below. Do you think Iran will become a global superpower? Thanks for watching.